I am your friend, Dr. Charles Apoki. Look, arrange my cap well. You see, the government, democracy is government of the people, by the people, for the people. Governance should be aimed at the improvement, the development, the betterment, the amelioration of stress on the people. But it's as if in several African countries, governance is still with the colonial mentality of exploiting the people, stifling the people, and extorting the people, and sometimes provoking the people. There's a recent issue about tinted glasses in cars in Nigeria. And there is a demand by the Inspector General of Police for an enforcement of compulsory tinted glass permits. He graciously extended the duration to 2nd of October. Now, why do you have factory, I'm using the word factory fitted tinted glasses? Number one, temperature regulation. The tinted glasses will shade off the rays of the sun to prevent heat inside the car. It makes the air conditioning system function better. Now, when temperatures are unnecessarily high or unnecessarily low, it can affect the battery life. The next thing is that if the rays of the sun shine on the eyes of the driver, he gets easily tired. So some of the screens, the windshields, have tint at the upper level. And sometimes the UV rays can cause cataracts if the eyes are exposed for too long. That's why you see people who are sunbathing, they wear something to cover their eyes. That's why when somebody has been in the dark for too long, when it comes into the sunlight, you cover his eyes so that the eyes can adapt. Sudden and prolonged exposure to bright light damages the eyes. The next thing is that UV rays can cause cancer of the skin. That's why I'm so glad that I am a black man. I'm an African, I'm a Negroid person, because the darkness of our skin, the melanin, prevents UV rays from harming our cells, the cells of our skin, and predisposing us to cancer of the skin. That's why you see, the more proximal you are to the equator, the darker your skin. That's why South Sudan, Ugandans, where the equator crosses, you see very dark-skinned people. It's a protective measure. It does not affect the color of your brain. I told somebody in Otopina, when I blew his brains, I say, your skin might be whiter than mine, but my brain is whiter than your own. And so, for the prevention of UV rays. Then the next thing is for aesthetics. It makes some cars, particularly big cars, look very respectable. Then for security, sometimes it's not nice to just glare into the car and see whoever is inside the car. Now, there are times I go to my community and my driver drives me with a car that has tint. They don't know I am the one inside. Now, why the need for tinted glass permit, new tinted glass permit? Number one, it is said to be for crime prevention and detection, to match number plates with ownership of cars and be able to trace cars that are used for nefarious activities. However, the greatest number of kidnappings have not been used, tinted cars were not used. When trains were blown up and attacked, and a large number of people hijacked and kidnapped, they didn't use tinted glasses. Chibok girls, it wasn't tinted glasses. A lot of the kidnaps in Ihamefu, Ogwashuku, several places around the Niger Delta here, they don't use cars. They just stop buses in Kogi State and wherever and carry the people into the bush. So if it is to prevent things like kidnapping, it has missed its mark, because the figures we have and the facts we have at hand do not prove that tinted glasses are the vehicles that are most likely used for kidnapping. And a lot of the kidnappings that are done in urban areas, the people randomly pick people in taxis in Abuja between the airport and the city center. You enter one chance. Sometimes they use social media to attract females. They use motorbikes. So the emphasis on tinted glasses is misguided. And when these people kidnap people, they put them in the boot of the car, that's the trunk. And you can't detect. Moreover, if you want to enforce security and you mount roadblocks or stop and search activities like the Delta State Police Command has done and achieved a lot of results that the police public relations officer, Bright Edafe, always demonstrates on TV and on social media. By the time you search these vehicles, where rifles, ammunition, drugs are hidden, they are not in the sitting compartment. Some are in door panels, some are in panels inside the boot of the car, some are under seats. And then when you stop a car, like as it has happened recently when I'm traveling, they will tell you to wind down the back glass. They want to see inside. They want to see the inside of the car. So if there is a factory fitted tinted glass, and we don't produce cars, we import them. If there is a factory fitted tinted glass, tell the person to wind down and look inside the car. Showing you a permit does not prevent him from being a criminal. Does not prevent him from being a criminal. And so, the idea of thinking that giving and they hijack other people's cars and use them to steal, to do crimes, to kidnap, and then abandon them. The owner of the permit for that car might not be the criminal. Somebody else might steal that car and use. Inasmuch as the intention also is to raise money for the police, they're talking about 9-point-something billion. There are better ways and other ways to raise money for the police force instead of the present situation. Now, the official price for the tinted glass permit is about 16,000 something, if I'm less than 20,000. But to get it, you will spend close to 80,000 naira. And the criminals are willing to pay that easily to get. It is the poor man who has 5%, nearly more than 100% increase in the pump price of fuel and a 5% tax that is coming, that is going to suffer. Then, most of these kidnappers make calls to demand for ransom. We have already registered BVN, registered NIN, registered their SIM cards. Why can't that mechanism be used to trace kidnappers instead of subjecting us to another frustration? Recently, the Nigerian police did a great job. Somebody was robbed of his phone, and the phone was switched off for 1 year. Immediately the phone was placed on to flash it and to repair it. The people were caught, 3 of them. That's kudos to the Nigerian police. And so the kidnapper will make phone calls. We can trace him by GPS and track him. He will demand for money. We can send materials inside the bag of money that will geolocate them. And there are other ways of preventing crime than this crude method that generated a lot of crises. We are going to have another quamology, and it's going to be on the road. People are going to have issues with police officers over tinted glass permit. Why must it be that for people like us who have tinted glass permits before now, who have done that under another Inspector General of Police, why must we do another one? It's the same police force, it's the same person. Why must it be renewed every year? Do the glasses expire? No. Do I expire? No. If you want money, make it in such a way that when I come to renew my vehicle papers, let there be a fee attached to the vehicle paper renewal for police fund and equipment. Oh, I want well-funded police, well-equipped police. But let me ask one simple question. There was one police fund that was raised at one time. What happened to it? What happened to those who stole money from there? Was anything done to them? Some of them have retired and become politicians and maybe traditional rulers. I believe that this police report for tinted glasses should be directed only to those who have put artificial tints that are not factory fitted. We don't produce cars. The ones we produce, we can't even afford them. And usually, the first 2 glasses are open, are plain.